The iconic Assassin's Creed music never gets old. It really doesn't. Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Assassin's Creed Rogue. Now, first off, I want to apologize for my No Man's Sky review. 6 hours before I uploaded the review, a massive patch was released and changes massively how much content was in the game. As for the bugs and performance, I'm not so sure, but my review can already be seen as outdated. As for this game though, it's kind of a mixed bag, but leaning towards the positive side. It does a lot of the things really well, but also a lot of things really bad. So let's see how the points stack up against each other and see what score we end up with. Which should come as no surprise, seeing as this game came out around the time Assassin's Creed Black Flag was released, is that the naval combat is actually really fun and fleshed out. Your ship can be upgraded to be a real menace of the seas when you reach the higher upgrades. It's satisfying when you take out a larger man of war when you're still a little barge. Or when you manage to destroy a high level fort with multiple ships guarding it. Assassin's Creed doesn't have a difficulty level built in, but this is a real challenge when you don't have the right resources for the job.
Damn brigands anymore.
That sounds like an excellent plan, Jack. Make it so. I will find out where the assassins are hiding.
Talking about jobs, Ubisoft did an excellent job of making a great campaign in Assassin's Creed Rogue. The story is believable and makes you really question if what the assassins are doing is actually good. Although it is common knowledge and in the title of the game, you're an assassin who goes rogue and joins the Templar Order. The reasons why he goes rogue I won't spoil for you, but let's just say that it really makes you question the #1 rule of assassins: everything is permitted. As you go on through the campaign, you will soon start to question if either side of these two powers is actually good. And so does the main character Shay. He is well written and portrayed as a main character, but I think they should have picked a different voice actor. Because when I saw the poster of the game, I thought it was gonna sound like Bane from Dark Knight Rises.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
While he actually sounds like this the whole story.
Great. And I suppose you have a plan.
I find it a little bit disappointing, but it's debatable for sure. For the rest of the character set, we have some that you already know from other Assassin's Creed games, and that's because this game is set after Black Flag, but before Assassin's Creed 3, and some of the characters are intertwined with it. It makes me feel like the games are connected to each other once again, and that is something I've missed for a long time in the Assassin's Creed franchise. As for the stealth and combat mechanics, they are exactly like you remember them, and of course there's some new finishers and counters that look as brutal as ever. The stealth is strangely enough more fun in this game though. There is always a path that you can take that is unguarded and will have you leave as a ghost in the night and a server of chaos. And the best thing is that when you return to your ship, combat is most likely still waiting for you. So it's the best of both worlds then. Maybe you've already seen by the FPS counter in the top left, but the game is for reasons unknown locked at 60 FPS. There's also a lot of other settings to tweak, but it doesn't really matter, because this game was built for PS3s and Xbox 360s in mind. And oh boy, it shows. The details in the distance are terrible, so as well are the textures of, well, pretty much anything. I would have liked to see a lot better ones for AAA titles, and at least on PC. And that brings me to another point. Why wasn't this game released on PS4 and Xbox One? It deserves to be, but for some reason they thought it was a good plan to deny themselves more sales. The controls are remappable, but for some reason Assassin's Creed games never lost the ability to throw me off a roof instead of jumping to the building I wanted to. That is something I really like to see fixed in later additions to the series. As well as some of the animation that just feel like they could have been more fine-tuned. Some other places where I think they went a little bit cheap on was the length of the story. Although the story was really good, it lasted for only 6 sequences. And if you've played any other Assassin's Creed game, you will know that it is often half of what a normal Assassin's Creed game has to offer. Although I went through the campaign fast, I do feel like you could get a good 20 hours of this game if you played more cinematic. Even more if you want all the upgrades and collectibles. So knowing both sides, let's see about the verdict. Assassin's Creed Rogue is a good game, but it has the problems of the old generation consoles chained to it. It's a shame it didn't release on the newer consoles, and it's a shame its graphics didn't improve a lot on PC. But with that said, if you can enjoy a story for what it is, and if you put gameplay before anything else, this is a game for you, I'm sure. It feels like a classic, and if you've played Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Black Flag, this is a must buy, for the complete story alone. For the price it is now, you would be stupid not to try it. So with that said, I can safely say that Assassin's Creed Rogue is well worth the money.